Hello YouTube, I hope you're doing well. It's been a while. I'm Emily. I don't look anything like this. So I've had this fair since I was a kid. I got it in the Hideaway Haven board game with, of course, the other three guys. He's in pretty rough shape if you can't tell. My other three guys from this set, however, are arguably in pretty good condition. So I'm not entirely sure where I went wrong with this one. He's got bite marks all over and crazy paint chips, and his peg is rusted and it rattles. None of my other LPS from my childhood are in nearly this bad of condition, so I really wish I could remember what I did to him. Regardless, I'm gonna try and fix him up. Specifically, obviously, his paint marker on the back, paint chips, and his bite marks. For the marker, I'm going to use hydrogen peroxide cream like the hair developer. For the paint chips, I planned on just color matching. I'm not a pro, but it shouldn't be that difficult. And for the bite marks, I want to use Knead-A-Tight and fill at least the big bite in the front. I'm most nervous for this because I don't really have any sculpting experience. All of my experience is from my unfinished customs in 2015. The first step in any paint job or restoration is cleaning. So I went in with the best cleaning tool ever, Mr. Clean's Magic Eraser. That bald man knew exactly what he was doing. The Magic Eraser got off more dirt and paint than I thought, which had me feeling great. However, it also made the faded marker on the back of the man's head more obvious, in my opinion. So we were definitely gonna have to treat that.
No freaking way! That red just came off.
After I cleaned it, I went in with the easiest step, which is, to me, a peg swap. I wish I could swap pegs all day. I feel like I'm getting really good at it. I was really excited for this part. My mom let me use her heat gun, and when they say it gets hot, they're not lying. It was hot. Reading is crucial. I'm always surprised when I pull the heads off and the peg is just decimated. Again, I don't know how this happened. His head was still rattling after I had emptied it, and then the rest of the spring fell out. But it was still rattling, so I dug around a little bit more and pulled out a tonsil stone. The donor peg was coming through a monstrosity that I had made earlier in the year. I don't remember why these pets pegs to put in my punky iguana. I don't know why I combined it with another one after that. I have no clue. This is going smoothly until it wasn't. I broke the donor peg because I was too eager. I still tried to use it though because it was only a crack. It was too small. I did not know the ferrets took a big peg. I guess I should have paid attention when I pulled out the crusty one. I was really upset about this. I remembered I have the Boblin style Mika and Sunil that I hate, so I dug them out from their prison and I ruined their days instead. Mika's peg I also cracked with the pliers, I think. Nevertheless, I persisted. This one worked, but now my ferret had a dumb, stupid, ugly white peg. Ugh. I'm just kidding. It was okay because I got to perform justice. This pink demon played a crucial role in the downfall of Littlest Pet Shop, so I don't feel bad. I don't know what Mika's going to do with her body. Not my problem. Oh, no. No!
So, little recap. The rust didn't completely come off. The alcohol did take some of the paint. I have 2 broken pegs, several headless animals, but I have this victory. The peg is in.
So then I moved on to the peroxide. It's common for people to use benzoyl peroxide to remove marker and pen stains from plastic, but it needs to be avoided on blue and purple plastic because it'll bleach it. I don't know how it works. I'm a follower, not a leader. After 2 days of sitting out in the sun with shit on the back of his head, he was looking a little better. Not good enough to beat the played with hard allegations, but good enough for me. Just so you know, this was the only step in the entire process that went smoothly. So now it's time to fill in the bite marks. The Knead-A-Tight is here. These are are my only victims of Neatite that I know of. They're old, they're really old. The Neatite won't come off, so I feel good about the Botox at least being permanent. This stuff has to be well over 10 years old by now. Like, there's no way that it's not an ancient artifact. If it was even still malleable, I was ready to be over the moon. So there I was, over the moon. My sibling let me borrow some of their clay tools if I needed them. I thought I would, but of course I ended up just using my fingers to smooth it out because of my ape brain. This part went all right. I think being nervous threw the whole thing off. I was doing fine, but I was so scared I'd ruin the guy's face. I feel like I need a GoPro or something to strap onto my head so that I actually get this subject in the shot. You people are probably getting really tired of my hands. I'm sorry. After hours in the sun, he was healed. The biggest lobotomy scar on his face was now somewhat covered up. Never mind the jarring spot of goblin snot green. I decided not to cover up the rest of the bite marks because I wasn't sure how the clay would look under the paint. I didn't want to make a big lumpy mess in case I wasn't 100% accurate with it. Now it was time for the hyperpigmentation treatment. And let me tell you, as an art student who's going into her senior year of college, I thought this was going to be the easiest step of the whole thing. It was not. I have never felt so stupid in my life. I spent like an entire day on this and I was struggling so hard to match the paint. So after many hours, it finally occurred to me that maybe I should use green's complementary color to cancel it out. Again, as an art student, I felt the need to Google the color wheel to make sure I was right. So I used red to neutralize the green and honestly felt pretty powerful. This also felt like the first step towards a gore custom, so keep your eyes peeled for the JFK drop because what the hell is this? I felt a little bad. Anyway, I still couldn't match the paint because of course I couldn't. While I was in bed, I had an epiphany. I couldn't match the paint because it was too saturated. So I waited like 10 days and I tried again. It took me a good 2 hours before I finally felt like I'd reached some similar shade of the color. So I laid it out in the sun and waited for it to dry. I was so close. I just needed like a drop more red. So I scrubbed the paint back off and I tore off the lobotomy scar. So there he was, flap out, staring at me with his thoughtless eyes because I had decapitated him. Because a quarter of my hard work had just been countered. Oh well, I said to myself. I was close enough. I was gonna have to deal with the green stuff later because I was too excited for the paint matching. I would never go back to the green stuff. It's just gonna stay like a flat. So I left him in the sun with the remixed paint and I waited again. Apparently, this result was fine by me because I didn't record the clips of the match paint. You are so welcome. I began to tape off the eyes and start airbrushing. But then victory wasn't mine because of course it wasn't. The airbrush snatched it right from me. The cup was bubbling and when I was trying to fix that, I bent the needle. Don't worry though because I fixed it after sweating again out of frustration. I actually couldn't record the airbrushing because it requires two hands and I didn't want to expose the outside of my house. And also my neighbors look at me weird when I have my phone in a tripod. So sorry, but after a grueling 12 minutes of fighting and a break to eat my crispy chicken sandwich, I sprayed that shit all over my porch, dude. But most of the paint got on his head, which was the goal. So I touched up the other paint and I got ready to pop the head back on. And this is it. These are the before and the after and whatnot. Obviously he's not perfect, but I'm really happy with how this turned out for being my first like full restoration. He's a little crusty. He definitely has a good side and a bad side, but you know, who doesn't? I'm really thankful that I had the resources to complete this. I just wanted to say that, like, I feel like I've done a lot of complaining in this video, so I am very thankful and I recognize how lucky I am to be able to do this with an airbrush and the Neatite and the heat gun and everything. I know not everyone has access to that. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know if you want more restorations like this and follow my Instagram if you feel like it. Okay, bye.